Anyways, part two. You know, my sister's getting evicted. The lawyer the old man hires is whatever. I'm like, it's not too late, this and that. Long story short, she gets evicted. It's painful, but I understand why she went. Sometimes it's better, rather than just take the utter disrespect from an unwise man. You're better off hitting the fucking road. You know what I mean? Especially if there's trauma there, and you have no hopes of getting any kind of absolution or any kind of closure from that person. That's an unfortunate nature of love and trauma. They're connected in that respect. Is that you can't base your joy off of a love unrequited. You can't base your healing from trauma off of someone who may be unable to help resolve it. If they're the ones who caused it, there's a good chance they are unable to offer any absolution or healing. Another word for healing. Like if they caused it, probably not going to be able to help you undo it, other than by like an act of revenge or fuck you, nigga. Person, fuck you. Fuck you forever. Anyways, fuck you, a motherfucking shit. You wanna go around, you fucking go around. I'm gonna fucking stab you in the fucking heart like you're a fucking, I'm at a fucking soccer rally or whatever the fuck. Talking about something here. You wanna fucking honk you a little bitch fucking horn? Anyways. So, yeah, like trauma, you can't rely on somebody for fucking, to heal your trauma. Is what it is. You get over it. So sister leaves, evicted. Dunzo. I seen her like one time after the fact. But it made an impression on me. I became the manager for the house or whatever for years. And I did that for 15, 20 years, living in the house, taking care of the house to different extents. I broke my leg a couple times. I needed assistance. Old man come down for assistance, whatever. I have, sparse issues here and there. Single for most of it. 5 years with an ex-girlfriend. No problem. You know what I mean? 5 years out of 10, there was somebody else in the house. Whatever. But now, tenants. My neighbor, who is another unwise, he's an older Gen Xer, but he's probably, I would say, boomer status, I would say. And he's a real estate agent that can't read people. You know what I mean? I only realized this 15 years down the road after having so many extra years of fucking lousy fucking tenants. Like tenants who turn into fucking total duds. You got Hurricane Sandy, so we're talking 13 years, not 15, 20, but 13 years, roughly. I started taking tenants in 2011, 2012, whenever Sandy started, is basically when this all started. So it's like a little less than half the time, I've been alone in the house, whatever. A real estate agent happens to be my neighbor, calls himself the mayor of the block, and it's like a jokey joke, but it comes into play later on down the road. And so Lieutenant for below is seemingly good. He's like a gay communist. And it's like, whatever. He's quiet, stays to himself. No problem. Lieutenant upstairs is like, is a postman, and he's nuts. He's nuts. He's like a retired postman. And it's just, you know, shaking like this on, you know, on the quadrants, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Yes, yes, no, no. Okay, he's nuts. I didn't have a problem with him for the most part, but he was fucking nosy. It's like, listen, mind your fucking business, you know what I mean? Don't worry about what I do. And he was always cold. Whatever. It's like, put on more socks. The house is drafty, you know. Like I'm in Italy with my girlfriend, and I'm getting text messages from the guy like, "Oh, it's cold here." Like, I just closed the phone up. Like, what do you want me to do about it? You know what I mean? Fucking light yourself on fire. You know what I mean? So he goes. He doesn't stay long. He was always intending to go back to Staten Island, but he was like fighting with the neighbors over parking spots that weren't even his. I don't even know if he had a car, but he was nuts. He was fighting with neighbors and shit. But not for nothing, looking back on it, I don't know. He might have been trying to defend me from whatever the fuck was going on. You know, hindsight is 20/20. But a nice enough guy. A nice enough guy. The guy downstairs kept in touch with him. Okay. But I mean, I definitely had disagreements with him over, you know, privacy issues. It's like, listen, keep to yourself, mailman. You know what I mean? Keep to yourself, Fed. You know? And then the next guy, who the fuck was the next guy? The next guy was like a fucking drug dealer. He was like a drug dealer slash like streetcar racer, and he was moving his girlfriend up from Florida, and they moved in with the dog, and he was good, but he was just too much into the drugs. You know, he'd be either buying or selling drugs in the middle of the night, you know, at 3 in the morning in front of the house. And it's like, you know, that's fucked up. Minor annoyance. He never got caught and never brought cops to the house. But it's just like, you know, I don't know. Like, just fucking with the real estate guys, like you couldn't read that off of him that he was like on drugs, or like, you know, you couldn't fish it out of him that he was into drugs or something like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what a real estate agent is supposed to do if you're getting tenants. So that was strike 2 there. He stayed for a number of years without issue. He almost lit the place on fire. Shrimp. He almost lit the place on fire with shrimp. And he was big into his race car, like his Honda race car, whatever. But minor annoyances. It was like, he would do his bullshit out on the street, but, you know, he didn't have like a group of people. And then the next one after that was, a couple. The guy worked in pharmaceuticals. She was a teacher. No, one was an editor for Hollywood. They were friends of, no, not friends of, they were like hipster people. Yeah, they were like hipster people. They were, one was like a Hollywood movie editor doing Hollywood movie editor bullshit. The other one was like an art teacher. Typical hipsters, you know what I mean? The ones from the girls from Jersey, the dudes from Pennsylvania, you know, they both transplant. Oh, I want to move to the city. It's so fucking great. Okay, fine. They're there for a couple of years and they move along. I was still smoking in the house at the time. And, you know, they were trying to have a baby or whatever. And it was like, oh, we're trying to have a baby. I said, okay, I'll let you out of your lease early. I let them out of their lease early. Bing, bang, come on. And then it was a couple. Guy works for pharmaceuticals. She's a teacher. She winds up fucking overdosing on pills. It's a whole thing. She died upstairs or whatever. So now the house is haunted on top of everything else. The bad tenants. Then I get another guy, couple, local guy, decent guy. So I thought. He just starts hanging out with his friends in front of the house, 2 or 3 in the fucking morning. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that kind of neighborhood. And I know there's freedom of this and that. It's not that kind of block where you're sitting with fucking 10 of your fucking jerk off buddies 3 in the morning when people are trying to fucking sleep. People gotta go to work the next morning. You're sitting with your fucking jerk off friends, bullshitting in front of the house, keeping everybody awake, and bothering people who are walking past. It's like, you know, it's an Arab culture thing. They're late night people, but still, it's just like you can't do it no more. Then his girlfriend was an Irish girl, a fucking chemistry teacher from fucking Fort Hamilton, and she was a bitch on wheels. And she'd be on the phone like, the way you talk to me, I want to kill myself. And it was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And she starts having the cops come. But he was there for like 5 years. You know, he winds up breaking up. I'm like, you know, they're all crazy. I tried to like advise them like on the nature of women and shit like that. They're all crazy. He's like, don't you ever talk about her like that again. Whatever. You wind up finding a nice one and moving the fuck out eventually. And that brings me to the last 2 fucking Puerto Ricans. As soon as they move in, their first move is to fucking have a screaming fucking music rage party till literally 8, 9 in the morning for like a whole weekend straight. They must have been coked out, drugged out, the whole fucking 9. You know what I mean? And then when the neighbors complain, she says, oh, the neighbors are racist. I was like, okay, so I know what you are. Like, I know what you are right off the bat. You told me exactly what the fuck you are right off the rip. So I'm like, hands up with this fucking bitch now. You know what I mean? Long story short, it gets too much with them. I tell the old man, listen, you got to start the eviction process on these 2. She already promised to stop paying rent. I already told her fucking degenerate boyfriend to start looking for a new place. Like, they're fucking degenerating before my eyes, and it's getting fucking bad. You know what I mean? Fucking bipolar. They go from the raging, screaming parties and spending all their money going down to fucking Miami instead of saving up for the house like she said she was going to when she fucking moved in. They're getting into fucking drugs. I got weird Mexicans coming during the fucking day with suitcases and shit. I got a fucking, it's like a fucking carousel of fucking weird drug motherfuckers coming in during the middle of the day in what used to be a fucking good neighborhood. So I'm like, listen, unless you're giving me a cut or whatever the fuck you think you're fucking doing over here, this shit isn't gonna fly anymore. So I tell my old man, listen, you gotta start the eviction process on this woman. She threatened to stop paying the rent. She said she claimed she's a fucking paralegal and she threatened to stop paying the rent. You have to start the eviction process now. He refused. He pinned it on me like it was my fault. I says, okay, fine. You know, what else can you do? Long story short, it became an issue where it was my self-defense in my residence. I had to fucking break down the door because she did the typical shut down, total fucking avoidant bullshit. And I'm like, you gotta fucking talk to me here because this isn't gonna fucking fly. My old man wouldn't fucking evict, so I had to force the issue. And I fucking did the Kyle. Fucking broke down a fucking door, you know what I mean? She called the cops, this and that. The old man says, that's it, you're out. I says, what? He wound up talking to this fucking tenant that he never met and never spoke to in his fucking life. And he turns around and comes and tells me, what did you do to this poor woman? He doesn't know shit from Shinola. And he's gonna take her fucking word for it over his own fucking son, who's been dealing with the fucking tenants and making the house profitable for fucking 12 fucking years? No. I understand at that moment how my sister felt, you know, and to get fucking rug pulled. It's why I never invested my own personal stake into the fucking house, because I knew from the moment that my father evicted my sister that this house was not reliable, that my father was not reliable. He's not reliable as a business partner. He's not reliable for guidance or wisdom by any stretch of the imagination. He's just, my old man is not reliable for anything, unless you want to talk about sports that don't fucking matter, or cars that don't fucking matter, or his own fucking hypochondria. It's like, grow the fuck up, you know what I mean? Oh, you watch so many sports commercials that the fucking big pharma shit gets into your brain, and now you can't do anything, now you're fucking useless. The only thing you can talk about is your own physical ailments like a fucking old Jewish man? No, that's not gonna fly with me. I don't want his fucking life. I didn't want to fucking marry a bitch who would get me on a fucking treadmill and do her bullshit, put me on the script where she needs to go out to eat 6 times a fucking week and spend all my fucking money going on vacations just as an excuse to fucking drink and take pictures for Instagram and impress her fucking friends who don't fucking matter. No, that's not my path. That was never my path. It was never gonna be my fucking path. Especially given my old man's background, it made zero fucking sense. So now we come to this, you know. Can't even talk to the old man now. Last time I talked to him, he's barking at me about a fucking job that he can't even offer me. He can't point his fucking finger and get me a fucking job working in a thing where my family's fucking worked. You know what I mean? He's fucking delusional. Like, he thinks he's some fucking big, he thinks he's got pull that he doesn't, because he never practiced it. You know, he thinks he's calling shots that he has no business calling. You know what I mean? So, if you're under the roof of an unwise man, it would be wise to get out from under that roof, as hard and as difficult as it may be. Now, I hope that isn't the case, because the house is valuable, and once that wealth is dispersed, it'll be difficult for the family in any respect to get it back again. Plus, I fucking balanced my life around, you know, working the house, and to have it, you know, to have it pulled over a fucking biological fucking Puerto Rican weapon, you know, whose intent, like, their intent is to fucking destroy the neighborhoods around them. That's what they are. They really, 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 really are. It's hard not to view these people as biological fucking weapons. And, you know, that's what they're being used as. You know? And it's just truth. It's just the truth. If the truth will kill it, let it die. You know what I mean? If you have generational trauma because your people have been used as a fucking biological weapon to destroy a good neighborhood, to stifle property values so real estate developers can buy it up cheap, that's something you need to rectify with your own family and your own fucking genetics. That's not my problem. You know? And let you two be fucking damned if people have an issue with it. That's, you know, that's just the truth. We need to start talking about the truth and how people are being used as swords and shields for fucking corruption. You know what I mean? The whole DEI bullshit. It's like, how do you bust up a fucking union? You put a fucking DEI people in there, and then you accuse, like, the fucking union heads of racism when they say that the company person's a fucked up DEI, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? people got to start calling a spade a spade. You know what I mean? These people, BlackRock and the whole nine, it's like that's been their fucking agenda. Affirmative action. They've been using DEI placements as their swords and shields for corrupt corporatism. You know what I mean? For fucking big business. It's quite obvious. It's obvious to me, and you know, people politically have been doing it to fucking dilute the neighborhoods, dilute the votes. So you know, so everything's under corporate control. That's pretty much the long and short of it. Everything is like sterilized since COVID. Everything's scoured. The skin color is different, but it doesn't mean like, and not for nothing, certain people's skin colors makes them easier, more susceptible to becoming a fucking biological weapon. Anybody can become a biological fucking weapon, a walking, talking biological fucking weapon. So that was my only request with my old man, was to evict the biological weapon, the obvious plant, the obvious fucking, you know, obviously she's there not simply to just live her life peacefully as she claimed, because she's on drugs, she's selling drugs, she's doing the whole fucking nine. It's like, get her out of there, and he refused. So I had to take matters into my own hands. And that leaves me where we're at, you know, unfortunately, waiting for word on what's gonna happen here. But let it be a testament. I'm gonna throw it up on fucking YouTube. I really give no fucks. It'll be buried. I doubt anybody will go digging through it, but there's a rule where you have to confess. So rather than keep it bottled up, I'll put it up there. I certainly will. And that's pretty much where I'm at as of April 19th, 2025, at about 10 a.m. Whoever's feelings are hurt over it, you know, learn how to self-purify. If you're a little over-empathetic with strangers, try not to be. Because guess what? What you're feeling, what you're thinking, it doesn't particularly matter to me. How your body feels and your fucking ailments doesn't particularly fucking matter to me. As the screechers say, it's my body, my choice. Your body, your choice. You're a fucking imbecile. You're a fucking idiot if you think that I'm going to latch my body collectively in an egregore sense to fucking losers, to drug addicts, to fucking people who are stupid, who can't think for themselves. I'm gonna lend my imagination and my common sense to people who are functionally fucking retarded and regressed? No fucking way. You know what I mean? You think because other people are gay, I'm gonna be gay too? No, you're fucking delusional. Like the British Supreme Court says. You know what I mean? A woman is a woman. No, you're in fucking delusional land. You're gonna be a fucking communist like that? You should learn from fucking nature. Collectives are easy prey. Easy prey. You know what I mean? You talking about human collectives? Go out into the woods and join the fucking commune. The city isn't the place for it. And woe to anybody who thought otherwise. Like you people were fucking delusional to begin with, to think that would ever fucking work. I'm worth fucking 10,000 communists. Marcus Aurelius is like, 10,000 people don't know what they're talking about. You don't even bother listening to them. I'm more like 10,000 people want to fuck with me. I'm gonna kill 10,000 fucking people. I will snap their fucking heads off. You know what I mean? Like a fucking anthill beneath my fucking feet. That's where they're at. You know what I mean? You want to fuck with me? You better try getting on my fucking level. If you can't get to my fucking level, don't even fucking bother. Because it'll be your family on the chopping block first. They'll be answering to nothing, you know what I mean? Because these motherfuckers don't know how to do nothing right. And it's important to stay humble. No one is more humble than me. And I'm going to leave it at that.